The blue compass over my shoulder has been my go-to boom arm for over 2 years. While it looks sleek, runs your cables clean, and holds microphones the weight of a bowling ball, there are a couple of issues with it. The most consistent issue that is a constant problem is this fact right here. It is at its tightest possible tension, not just with these adjustable levers right here, but also taking the boom arm off of this base and using a Phillips head screwdriver to adjust the overall tension. However, unless you are using an extremely heavy microphone and shock mount combination, this is a relatively heavy mic. It might be small, but the blue Ember over here is a pretty hefty microphone. And it still cannot hold the perfect position for me, which would be right about there. The second issue is long-term durability or reliability with these adjustment points right here. They're a sleek looking design, however they are all plastic and there is a lot of tension on these bad boys, especially the center point right here. This actually failed on my first blue compass and this was the replacement. This one's still plugging away strong, but again, that's where I'd like to see her. That's where she's at. Then you got this bad boy here. Now this is the Gator Frameworks and it kind of combines that sleek tubular design of the blue compass with the reliable and smooth positioning of a Rode PSA. Plus this also has some other unique and interesting features like an integrated XLR cable, which could be a bad thing. We'll talk about that in a bit. We're gonna go ahead and unbox this bad boy, get her set up and adjusted, and talk about how it stacks up to the blue compass and the Rode PSA1. Let's get it. You just built a PC. Sweet. You shouldn't have to sell your firstborn child or take out a loan to get a Windows 10 key. Nothing's more frustrating than staring at an ugly watermark and having locked features on your operating system. I've been on the prowl for a source to get authentic Windows 10 keys for quite some time. We're doing a few custom PC builds on this channel in the very near future, and best believe cdkoffers.com is where we're getting our authentic Windows 10 keys. Microsoft wants $200 for a Windows 10 Pro key. No thank you, sweetheart. But wham bam, thank you ma'am. $20 US, that sounds a whole heck of a lot better. Check out, it's super easy. I have half a brain cell and I'm able to figure it out. Enter code Stallions for 20% off because I take care of those in the stable. Oop, hitting enter doesn't work. You gotta click apply. Bam, 1606. That's a Big Mac meal, boys. At the checkout screen, you'll be given a code. You're gonna type in activation right here. And then you're going to change your product key right here, paste that bad boy that you got from their website right there. If you're not activated, period, it's a brand new motherboard, then right here at the bottom, it will prompt you to activate. So this bad boy is a spring-loaded articulating arm with a 4.4 pound maximum capacity. That's a pretty heavy mic. This has a maximum extension of 37 inches. That's long, ladies. This does include an integrated XLR cable integrated into the actual tube, the frame itself, which is nice. It looks real sleek because, well, there's virtually no visible cable besides the connection ends. However, if that cable were to ever fail, which granted is very unlikely, especially considering it is inside this protective tube, a well-maintained XLR cable should last for decades or longer. However, if it were to get crimped, pinched, or cut, you kind of have to get yourself a new boom arm. So in this little box right here, you do have a spare tire for a clown car. Now this is the actual base that mounts to your desk. All right, let's talk about the pros of the Gator Frameworks, then we're gonna talk about the cons because there are a couple. So first of all, cosmetically, it looks amazing. There is absolutely zero XLR cables visible besides obviously your output right here. Then if you have something like the Rode Pod Mic that has a jumper port, you can actually get that even further away. So I understand why they do this, but for me, it leaves a little bit of slack. It's a little bit loosey-goosey, so I'd probably put I might put a cable tie here. In my opinion, it actually looks better than the blue compass, which up until now I thought was the most handsome boom arm by quite a margin. So first up, the adjustability. Just like a Rode PSA1, this bad boy will stay exactly where you put it. Unlike the blue compass over there, which had so much tension that if you're using less than a 4-pound microphone, it would basically extend on you. This bad boy stays exactly where you put it. The next pro is the way that you adjust the Gator Frameworks is a lot more durable than the mechanism in the blue compass. These are all metal in here. They have 2 metal washers and then these hardened plastic adjustment wheels, I guess you could call them. And it is just a much more durable design, and it's also easier on the hand too. It was kind of rough on the fingertips, to be honest, boys. As we're on the Gator Frameworks, these are very, very nice soft touch valves, and since they have this design, it just makes it very, very easy to adjust them. Now, on to the cons, because there are a few. I can't open my top drawer here. And Gator doesn't include any other clamp mounts besides the other one that you actually drill to the desk. They should have maybe 2 or 3 different length stems here that you can screw in, because not everyone has the same desk, and a lot of people have desks set up similar to this, to where if they're going to clamp it on the end, they probably either have a drawer or a headphone stand or something hanging off the bottom that is going to run into some clearance issues. So that is a little bit frustrating. Second of all, Having an XLR cable built into the tube might look cool and all, however, if this ever does get crimped, cut, broken, or just over time the XLR cable fails, you pretty much need to get yourself a new boom arm. Unless you just want to have this thing just dangling, or you just cut it off right here and then just end up Velcro or wire tying an XLR cable to the outside of the boom arm, but at that point you're killing the cosmetic design of it to where it's supposed to have an integrated or hidden XLR cable. So pick your poison there. And next up, the biggest con for this microphone, and why I most likely will be going back to a blue compass at some point, is this point of adjustment right here. That is the highest that you can go. Right there. Very, very limited movement. Right there and right there. Now, besides your standard 1/4 inch threading for basically any kind of microphone mount or shock mount, it also does come with an adapter. So that is the workaround there, is basically just work with the mount that came with your microphone, do a little bit of adjustment, and then that way you are able to get your microphone in the position that you desire. But again, they don't include different link stems here, so I'm going to need to do a little bit of modification, a little bit of fabricating, if you will. Nothing too crazy to make sure I can open up my desk here. All in all, this thing feels pretty dang sturdy though, and I really do like that integrated XLR cable. And overall, I do think this looks better than the Blue Compass. I think it adjusts better. I think it's going to be more durable because of the adjustment mechanisms, i.e. these 3 wheels or levers here instead of the really, really plastic, cheap, chintzy ones in the Blue Compass. And this has literally the same holding power or smooth adjustment as a Rode PSA1 without the, what's the word I'm looking for? Hideous design. Now, some people think it is a classic, timeless design to have that style of boom arm. I don't fall in that camp. I think it looks cluttered, I think it looks clumsy, and I don't think it looks very sleek, clean, and handsome. As for this, again, it's just a tube. Very nice design. Let me know in the comment section below if you want me to get the Rode PSA1 on this channel so we can do a 3-way shootout, a trifecta, if you will, of boom arms. Alrighty boys, got the Gator Frameworks set up here with the blue Ember hooked up to the Go XLR mixer, and I gotta say this bad boy looks pretty good. How does it sound? Is the XLR cable picking up any kind of interference or any kind of reverb on the cable? Nope, not a damn thing. Noise gate cuts out everything. So the included XLR cable isn't necessarily some kind of $45 premium XLR cable, but unless you have a ton of electromagnetic interference in your room, a lot of things that are transmitting frequencies that would be picked up by your XLR cable, you can pretty much get yourself like an $8 Amazon Basics cable, and it's going to do the same thing. Yeah, they're not as flexible and bendy, but unless you're walking around with your XLR cable on stage, it's not a huge deal. So right about here is where I'm actually going to have the microphone set, because it is completely out of my peripheral view right now when I'm gaming. Obviously, if I focus on it, I can see, yep, there's a boom arm there and an XLR mic. But if I'm just focusing on my primary gaming monitor here, it is up and out of the way. Again, it looks super clean. Yeah, you do have this little extra, foreskin here, but I might circumcise this off, or I might just use like a cable tie or something. Honestly, it doesn't really look ugly or anything. Overall, I do think this is a phenomenal option. Basically, there are 3 premium boom arms that I recommend. The Rode PSA1, but in my opinion, that is not a very good looking boom arm. It's not very clean. It doesn't have any cable management really. You're basically going to have an exposed XLR cable. And I don't like that traditional scissor design with exposed springs, not to mention that one does hide a lot of the springs, but those are actually unsafe too, because if those springs are ever to snap, it is going to go flying and could potentially hit you in the face or something. The Blue Compass, we already mentioned the issues there. If you don't have a super heavy shock mount and microphone combo, it's not ever going to hold position just right for you. Not to mention, there is a commonly known point of failure, which is the adjustment knobs or dials. And I also do like the design on the Gator Frameworks, as they are easier to adjust. They're just easier on your fingers, and they seem a lot more durable. So overall, I do strongly recommend the Gator Frameworks. I think it's a good looking and good performing boom arm. Overall, I would say I do recommend the Gator Frameworks. It looks very nice. The included XLR cable is a nice touch, as long as it doesn't break. And this is the boom arm I'm going to be rocking for the foreseeable future. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a Rode PSA1. Who knows? Maybe some company will come out with a new entry into the space, and I'll try that bad boy out. If this video was beneficial for you boys, helped you to make a decision as to what boom arm might be right for your setup and your needs, liking it helps it to get seen by more people, so this information can reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover a ton of news in the gaming community and industry, as well as honest product reviews and tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.